All right, so we got our round 2 of our Jumpstart battle. We got our 4 packs here ready to go. You see the 2 sets that we have, so we're going to crack our first 2 packs, see what our deck is going to consist of. So we have Doctor, then we have that paired up with Predatory. All right, so that's deck number 1. Then we're gonna see what deck number 2 is. Ooh, we got Dinosaurs as deck number 2, or part of the first pack of deck number 2. Dinosaurs and Seismic. All right, so this is gonna be a good battle here. Seismic Dinosaurs versus Predatory Doctor. All right, guys, we have game number 2 going down. It is going to be Dinosaurs and Seismic versus Doctor and Predatory. So we are shuffling up now for game number 2. I rolled an 11, and he rolls a 6, so I win the dice roll. I'm going first. And we are resolving mulligans, so we are good. I play a Thriving Grove into play tapped, which is the green Thriving land, so I'm choosing red as my secondary color. So it taps for green and red. And Gary plays a Plains for his turn, and he passes. On my turn 2, I play a Forest. I play Commune with the Dinosaurs. That card allows me to look at the top 5 cards in my library to reveal a land or a dinosaur creature card, put that into my hand. The rest go onto the bottom of my library in any order, and I find nothing. So I completely whiff on that Commune. Just double, triple checking everything to make sure that I am all set and find nothing, but glad that those were all gone off the top of my library. All right, Gary plays turn 2, plays the Forest, and he's going to play a Mesa Unicorn. This is a 2/2 for 2 that has lifelink. All right, so my turn 3, I play a Mountain, and then I play a Molten Ravager. And the Molten Ravager, it is a 0/4 for 2 and a red that I can pay 1 red mana, and it gives it +1/+0 until end of turn, so it's fire breathing. All right, so Gary's going to play a Plains. All right, Gary's going to be attacking with his Mesa Unicorn, so that puts him at 22 life, and even though I block with the Molten Ravager, he still has lifelink. And then a Trufflesnout, which is a 3-mana 2/2. When he enters the battlefield, you either gain 4 life or put a +1/+1 counter on target on Trufflesnout. All right, turn 4, I play a Forest, and then I play an Orzhaka Frillback. Just deciding how I tap my mana here. All right, here's the Orzhaka Frillback. He does a 4/2 Dinosaur for 2 and a green. All right, so Gary is going to take his turn 4, and he plays a Forest. He's then going to enter combat and attack with both of his creatures. So the Ravager is going to block the Unicorn, and then I'm going to take the 2 damage from his Trufflesnout. And then he's going to play a Marauder's Axe as well. And that's an equipment card. All right, I'm going to start my turn here and play a Forest. And then I'm going to attack with the Frillback. All right, so he goes down to 20. And his next turn. All right, so Gary's going to play his Plains. And then he's going to go ahead and play Brightmare, which taps the Molten Ravager, because the Brightmare is a 3-mana 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, tap up to 1 target creature. You gain life equal to that creature's power. But because the Ravager has 0 power, he gains 0 life from that. He's going to he equips the axe to the Mesa Unicorn. And that's going to deal some damage. Okay, so my turn. I go ahead and play a Forest. And with nothing better to do, I pass the turn over. All right, Gary on taps. He plays draws a card. He's going to play a Plains for his turn. And then he's going to go ahead and enter his combat and attack with all 3 of his creatures. Okay, so I declare blocks on the Ravager. On the Trufflesnout, I'm going to pump its attack by 2 for the fire breathing to kill the Trufflesnout. And then the Mesa Unicorn is being blocked by my Frillback, and he's going to get Titanic Growth to give it, make him an 8/6, which would kill the Mesa Unicorn. All right, so 2 of his creatures died, and I take damage from the Brightmare. And then he plays a Bulwark Giant. It's a 6-mana 5 and a white giant, 3/6. When it enters the battlefield, he gains 5 life. All right, so I'm taking my turn here. So I'm going to play Thundering Spineback. That is a 5 and 2 green, 7 cost, 5/5 dinosaur. Other dinosaurs get +1/+1, and I can pay 5 and a green to create a 3/3 dinosaur token with trample. All right, so Gary goes ahead and think about his next play, but he's going to go ahead and cast a Bosri's Acolyte. And that's going to add a Bosri's Acolyte is a 4-mana, 2 and 2 white, 2/3 with lifelink. And when it enters the battlefield, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. So he's going to put it on the Giant and the Brightmare. He's going to equip the Marauder's Axe to the Giant. And then attacks with the Giant. Okay, so I block it with the Ravager, and the Ravager is going to die. You gain some life with the lifelink. I'm sorry, no lifelink. All right, so on my turn, I went ahead and cast a Cinder Elemental, which is a 4 mana, 3 and a red, 2/2, which has the ability X in the red, sacrifice Cinder Elemental. It deals X damage to any target. And then I go ahead and play a Thriving Bluff into play tapped as well, which is the last card in my hand. Okay. All right, Gary casts an Anointed Chorister. It's a 1 mana 1/1 for lifelink. You can pay 4 and a white. It gets +3/+3 until end of turn. He goes ahead also into his attack phase and attacks with the Baldry's Acolyte and the Giant. And I go ahead and block the Acolyte with the Frillback. And since it has a +1/+1 counter, it does not die to the Acolyte. Now, normally this wouldn't be a very good play. However, Gary goes ahead and plays Fungal Rebirth, which is a 3 mana instant. He returns a permanent card from his graveyard to his hand, and if a creature died this turn, he creates 2 1/1 green Sapperling tokens. So there's the Sapperlings, and he gets back the Baldry's Acolyte that was just killed. All right, so I untap, and since that's the only card in my hand, figure out what I want to do. I end up playing the Mountain, the 1 card in my hand, so it gives me 8, an activation of 8 for the Cinder Elemental. So that's my thought process in my head, that I can kill the Giant with that Cinder Elemental if I need to. All right, so Gary goes ahead and plays Speaker of the Heavens, which is a 1 mana 1/1 with Vigilance, and you can tap it to make a 4/4 Angel token. Then he also plays the Baldry's Acolyte, putting the +1/+1 counters on the Giant and the Chorister. Now, luckily, I played my land for the turn because it allows me to Cinder Elemental to still kill the Giant. Knowing that he did get back the Acolyte, I knew that was a play that he was possibly going to make. So he proceeds to his attack phase and attacks with the Giant and the Bright Mare, which I block the Bright Mare with the Thunderous Spineback. And then I activate the ability of Cinder Elemental, dealing 8 damage to the Giant, which kills it. So that was a very important turn for me, because I am way behind on life at this point. trying to stabilize the board with all of his lifelink creatures and such to make sure that I can actually do something. So he then equips the axe to the chorister. So passes the turn. Since I have so much power on the board, I have five power on the board. I am able to reduce the cost of the Dinosaur's main attacker in the game, Ghalia, Primal Hunger, excuse me. So I'll reduce the casting cost by 10, so it was only costing 2 green mana. So I got some decent board presence. He has a bunch of life-linking creatures, so as long as I can continue to stabilize the board, I might be able to make a run at it. But this next turn is what kills it, which is what really, really gets me. So Garjaws' turn. He activates the Seeker's ability to make a 4/4 Angel token with flying. He also plays Griffin Airy, which is a 1 and a white enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, create a 2/2 white Griffin token with flying. So he then attacks with the Anointed Chorister, which has lifelink, with the axe. So he's already at 3. He's already going to be able to gain 3 life. So I block with the Ghalia. He gives it +3/+3 with his ability, allowing him to gain 7 life. Right, even though the Chorister dies, he still gains the 7 life. It will trigger the ability of the Griffin, Airy. So on the end of the turn, he makes a 2/2 flying token. And at this point, I go ahead and make a 3/3 Dinosaur token on the end step. But the writing is on the wall. I do not have any flying blockers. The only card I could have drawn was Plummet, which destroys a flyer. But I did not draw that. So that is game over. And I go ahead and scoop it on up. Alright, so this is the Dinosaur deck, which came with Ghalia, and then the beautiful Dinosaur land. We had the Seismic deck that had a Grim Lavamancer and a Magma Quake. The Predatory deck had a Naeth of the Dire Hunt. That 4/4, it's a really good fighting commander. And then the Doctor deck had the Speaker of the Heavens, which ended the game for me. Alright guys, well, hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. This is part 2 of the 6-part mini-series. And don't forget to stomp that like button, and we'll see you guys in the next one.